right.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Phillips with CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. We are doing something that we haven't done before, which is spring sports. Boys high school baseball. Today we have Little Miami and Wilmington in a doubleheader. First game to get underway here in just a few minutes. I've got Charlie Hargrave, Rachel Hargrave on our video, and yours truly with a little bit of color. As I said, this is our first foray into spring sports. And Charlie, you've had some experience with baseball. I coached Knothole for about 7 years, Wilmington Knothole, and you've done some umpiring.
Oh, I've umpired over 20 years, and I've coached reserve baseball at East Clinton. And
you're starting to sound like Joe Davis.
And varsity softball at Huntington and reserve softball at McLean. So I've been around the sport a lot. So.
All right, so we welcome in our audience, and we hope you enjoy today's doubleheader. I don't think there'll be much of a break between the games. It'll just be one game after the next. So they will have lunch? Oh, wow, they have lunch, Charlie.
Yeah, they usually have hot dogs and chips and stuff like that in between the game.
All right.
Hopefully they'll invite the crew down there to
you think?
Partake with them.
We'll have to talk to Troy. Troy will have to give us some special dispensation there. But we do have an audience. There is a crowd of, I'm sure, parents and baseball fans. And we're going to, right now the teams are just warming up. Little Miami taking some fielding practice before the game. I think Wilmington's already warmed up.
Wilmington's already had their infield, yes.
The game is slated to get underway at 11 o'clock.
Probably about 11:10, I'd say, before we get going. Little Miami is wearing their obviously yellow and green, like the Oakland A's, and Wilmington will be in their all-white uniforms today with the orange on them. So, and just going over the starting lineups, for Little Miami, they've got Ballard playing center field, Sweeney playing first, Carpenter's playing third, shortstop is Chapman, Spangler's in left field, DeAndre is the DH, which you can still have in high school baseball. It's your choice whether you use a DH or not. Phillips at second base, and Shirey is catching. Javaden is in right field, and Metterhouse is the pitcher. But you only bat 9 still, so it looks like Metterhouse probably is not batting, and then DeAndre is the DH. Now for Wilmington, they're just using 9 players. They have Andrew Davis playing third, leading off. Brad Keller will be at second base. Marlon Frisco will be left field, batting third. Stephen Krause, shortstop, batting fourth. Chris Woolery in right field, batting fifth. Jordan, is that Ianson?
Jordan Ianson.
Ianson, okay. Jordan Ianson will be pitching. Chad Davis, I believe, is Chad the first baseman?
He is.
He's first base. Brady McCune is in center, and Caden Lawfer is catching. And they're electing not to use a DH. So you can or you can't use one. But what you start with, you have to use throughout the game. Now you can get rid of the DH if you start with it. But like if you're in Wilmington's case where you're not using one to start with, you can't add one. You just have to have pinch hitters. Also in high school baseball and softball, and I don't think this has changed since I coached, but you have re-entry. Used to be you were out for the, in like Major League Baseball, when you get pulled out of the game, you're out for the rest of the game. In high school baseball, it's a little different. You get a re-entry. So you can be pulled out and then put back in the game. And just one time, though. So, and once you've used that, you're done. So sometimes some people will come in and also in high school baseball, I believe, Jim, they still do this to courtesy runner. He's on the phone, but once in a while you're allowed to use courtesy runners too, where if somebody just wants to come in and run for the catcher so they can get their equipment back on to keep the game flowing, they let you do that. So we'll try to keep you updated. It's not quite like Major League Baseball or your minor league baseball. There are some little differences. Still have a 10-run rule after 5 innings if one team is ahead by 10 or more after 5. They call the game, and it's kind of a mercy rule. So
hopefully we won't need that for either team today, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, unless Wilmington wins by 10, right? I mean, we are the Wilmington Broadcast Network. Sure. And it looks like Little Miami has just finished up their infield. The umpires are coming out to home plate to have a meeting with the coaches, and if the coaches desire, they can bring captains out with them. Only 2 umpires in baseball. We have a 2-man crew, and usually the umpire out on the bases will cover all 3 bases unless you get multiple runners, and then the home plate umpire will cover third and home, and the outside will cover first and second. But the big thing on umpiring, you want to have a guy you work with that you're comfortable with, so you can have a nice, is it okay if I go ahead? Working together with the crews. And we're getting ready to start. I think we're going to have a Star Spangled Banner, and we're also going to have a moment of silence. Jim, you okay down there? Jim's having some trouble. Jim Woolery is he's our jack of all trades. He's running the scoreboard that doesn't work, and he's also running. He's going to be a PA announcer and run the music in between innings. So we're probably going to hear some Hank and Merle today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wilmington High School this morning. If we could have a moment of silence prior to the national anthem this morning. We had 2 students from Wilmington High School and Washington Courthouse High School died tragically in an auto accident this past week. Kimberly Sears from Wilmington High School and Katie Little from Washington Courthouse. Thank you. Now, if everyone please stand, remove your hats, face the center field flag, and stand for our national anthem.
Ready? Just hit that one right there. Not the first one, the second.
Right here?
Yeah, well, let me get down there because I'd like to be down there with the team.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we are ready for some baseball.
Yeah, just had a nice moment of silence there for the 2 girls that passed away in the car wreck this weekend. Katie Little, and what was the other girl's name?
Kimberly Sears.
Kimberly Sears. Yeah, Kimberly is from Wilmington, and Katie is from Sabina, but also moved to Washington Courthouse this year. And we are actually we're actually pretty good friends with the Katie that passed away, Katie Little. We haven't been around her much this last couple months, but when last summer she spent the night at our house a lot, and my daughter would spend the night with them, and it was they were pretty good friends. So definitely prayers and sympathy on to the family of Katie Little and the Sears girl, Kimberly Sears. We are having a meeting here at home plate, and we're getting ready to just get underway here. We're glad you're joining us here at Campus Nation.
First, for the visitors,
Little Miami will be batting first.
Batting first, Ballard in playing center field. Batting second, Sweeney, playing first base.
They're
Batting
announcing
third,
the starting
Harper, playing
lineups
third
right
base.
now, which we've already told you.
Batting fourth, Chapman, playing shortstop. Batting fifth, Spangler, playing left field. Batting sixth, DeAndrea, DHing. Batting seventh, Phillips, second baseman. Batting eighth.
Sounds like a
Shirey,
good
the
ball
catcher.
player there, Phillips.
Phillips
Batting
playing
ninth.
second. Imagine that.
Gavin, the right
It's kind of like having the Reds here.
And pitching,
Right.
Metterhouse.
Wilmington's got a nice little setup here. We got a nice little press box. We're staying out of the wind. It is a cool day. It's only probably about, I don't know, in the upper 40s maybe. Plus there's a wind going.
Batting first, playing third base, Andrew Davis.
And a lot of schools, they don't have the national anthem before baseball games. They just get started because the facilities
Playing
aren't
left field, Marlon
ready
Briscoe.
for it.
Actually, when
Batting fourth,
in looking at the improvements that have been made to the field and to the with the press box and that, they do have a press box even for the softball team.
Oh, do they really?
Right, and
They
so
do? Where at?
Nianson. Batting seventh,
Straight-
playing first base.
straight down the third base line, as you see, there's with the
Center fielder, Brady McCune.
window up there.
And batting ninth, the catcher.
Over here on the first base line? Or it's our
That's third base, Charlie.
Well, it's our third base, but softball's first base line. You're
Right.
talking about the big building over here.
No, I'm talking about the little white building with the black and orange trim that's directly
okay.
behind the.
That looks like their dugout, but I guess it's not. Okay.
Well, it's next to the dugout, but that is the press box for the girls
Oh,
softball
wow.
team. Check
Cool.
that out too. So we have much better than average facilities here. The field looks great, and obviously the fresh cut grass and the sunshine lends itself to the start of what we'll call opening day for the Wilmington
Well,
Hurricane.
it is. This is opening day for high school athletics.
At least spring, right? Now, the girls
Sure, yeah.
softball team, we're going to do a game, weather permitting, on Monday evening at 5 o'clock. So we'll be on the air at 4:45 this coming Monday for girls softball, and they're going to be playing Glen Estee. And so that gets underway at 4:45 right here on campusnation.com.
Wilmington right now is out there on the field, and they're doing their warm-ups here. Pitching for the Hurricane. This is Jordan Ianson, excuse me. Did you get your thing working yet?
Close.
Close?
Close.
Okay.
You can do balls and strikes and innings, but the scores, I'll announce the scores at the end.
Caden Lawford just throws the ball
So
down.
we're
and
not
they're-
going to show either score. We're just going to announce it. Probably the best thing.
They're
Less confusing.
passing the ball around the infield, and we're getting ready to have the first pitch here of the 2016 high school baseball season with Wilmington Hurricane at home against Little Miami. First one up is Ballard for Little Miami. We don't have first names, so we apologize for that, but you guys know who they are. Number one, Ballard, is at the plate. And umpires looking to see if everybody's ready, and here we go. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner, a little fastball. Wilmington's third baseman's playing up on the grass a little bit. We have a left-hander here in Ballard. He hits it. It's just a little short one to the pitcher. And he throws it to first, and we have our first out of the game. Next up is the first baseman, another left-hander, Sweeney.
Sweeney, the batter.
Like him, 2 pitch outs. That's what we like.
Right
First
down the
pitch,
pipe.
another strike.
And just a reminder, tomorrow afternoon, sometime between 1 and 3, we'll have at least game 1 of this doubleheader up with our video on demand, and that'll be followed by the second game just as soon as we can get it posted on Campus Nation.
Second pitch, foul down the third base line. That almost looked like that, a little break to the outside. Is that a screwball? Does he throw a screwball?
Has a breaking ball. He's a good pitcher. He's a senior.
Senior pitcher.
He's already signed with, I can't remember who.
Like a D3 college?
Yeah, I can't remember who signed.
Well, you have to find that out for us.
Yeah, we always like to.
No balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, that had a little break to the outside, like a little screwball action. 0-2 on the batter. The line, the pitch. Strike 3. That again kind of went to the outside a little bit on him. Started out like it was going to be a strike and then swung outside on the left-hander.
The third baseman, Carpenter.
Carpenter, number 9 now, first right-hand batter. 2 outs. Just to give you little dimensions, it's 320 down the lines here, 335 to the gaps, and 360 straightaway center. First pitch is a ball to Carpenter. It's high. Where's the heater? I told Troy we needed a heater up here.
You're sounding like Charlie. Hey, this is a man's game. You got to be a little
pitch,
cold.
Fouled out of play. Yeah, it's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, knothole usually started around the middle of March, and believe me, it was raw weather when we first started playing knothole.
I'll tell you, I've umpired ball games in the snow before. Ball's hit, straight up. Looks like it's going to go out the center, and it is. And it's put away, 3 outs.
3 up, 3 outs.
Fly out to Brady McCune, who handles it for the Hurricane. So no score and no hits in the first inning for Little Miami. Now coming to the plate will be Wilmington in this bottom of the first. So, Rick, do we have any sponsors for this yet? Are we still Bogart's barbecuing or not?
No, we're at this point, Marty has said he'll come on board if necessary. We are going to talk to some of our sponsors from our winter sports to see if they're interested in sponsoring our spring sports. But today, we are sponsorless, although we do have 3 sponsors from our great basketball team that just finished up there at the state, still on our website. Wilmington Savings Bank, Bogart's Barbecue, and Ken Lundy of Peel and Lundy Real Estate.
And we might as well throw a shout out to Brian Lawrence too, because he did some sponsoring. It'd be nice if we could get People's Bank in line here.
Yeah,
who would we talk to for that?
I don't know.
Whoever they talked to that donated $250,000 for the football field. That'd be the one you
Would that be you?
No, that'd be the one they talked to.
That sounds like a Larry Roberts deal or something there. I did think
People's Bank donated $25,000 for 10 years.
10 years.
Wow. Well, you know what? We need to get them on board sponsoring this so we can advertise them a little bit more. You think you got an in you could talk to?
So Troy didn't want to talk about our new 8-lane all-weather track, so I don't know whether that's actually in the works yet or not. That's supposed to be built over here to the left of our baseball field.
Well, Jim, I think you need to work on that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Not the track, but the sponsor in here. Who does Rick need to talk to up there? Well, I talked to 2 or 3 people up there. None of them knew what they were doing.
None of it's handled locally.
So that's what I mean. We need a name.
Marietta?
It's all Mary.
We need a name. Jim, you have a job. See, like Marty sponsors Dylan and the basketball team. You need to step up and get Peoples involved with Campus Nation and the baseball team.
Got him in a headlock, Charlie.
Batting lead off the third baseman.
Here we go. Coming up, Andrew Davis, number 2, third baseman for Wilmington. Pitching is Metterhouse. He's a right-hander. First pitch. Strike 1.
Yeah, it looked a little low, but on the edge there.
Well, it's Davis. He's not the tallest guy in the world, so. And I tell you what, when it's cold like this, you want him swinging. Ball's drilled to center field, but it's just a long fly out for Davis.
Center fielder was playing fairly shallow.
Well, all of them. It's a cold day. The wind is kind of blowing from right to left.
Off those aluminum bats.
I tell you what, Davis hit that sharp. If he'd hit that to the gap, he'd been running all day long. He'd have got at least 2, maybe 3 if he hit that to the gap.
It wouldn't be hard to put the ball beyond the outfield the way they're playing.
Especially center. Left's a little deeper and right's a little deeper. Keller up.
About halfway to the wall.
Oh, curveball for strike 1. Well, it didn't break too much, more broke down than it did curve. Second pitch, fastball down the dirt, walked by Shirey, the catcher for Little Miami. Little Miami's known as the Panthers, so we got the Panthers against the Hurricane here today. Keller, we got 1 ball, 1 strike on him. The next pitch, fouled right back at us.
Did you duck, Rachel?
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Sounds like you're getting a little cold there, Charlie. Or
I've had a cold the last 3 weeks. It's allergies too. Oh, curveball, but it's drilled to the shortstop who boots it. So we got E6, and we got our first base runner of the game.
Are you the official scorer there, Charlie?
No, but that's a boot. I mean, it went right between his legs, had his glove on it. If they give him a hit on it, it must be his daddy or something. So now we have Marlon Frisco up, and we got Keller on first base.
So where is our official scorer?
This be probably in Wilmington's dugout.
Yeah.
Nice lead. Ball thrown in the dirt. Right side, ball 1 to Frisco.
Do you think that was a pitch out, or was that just wild?
I think that was just, I'm concerned I got a runner on first. Yeah, it's the first game of the season. We're liable to see anything today, folks. I mean, we're liable to see balls go 10 feet over the batter's head because it's the first day. Looks like he's getting a nice lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go after that first pitch. Nope, staying put. Low and in the dirt. I tell you what, there's 2 excellent chances he could have went because both of those balls were in the dirt. Two balls, no strikes. Getting a little bit bigger lead at first. No throw over. There he goes. He kind of got a rough jump, but the throw's not there, and he slides in for a steal.
Yeah, throw was a little high and to the second base side of the base, and the shortstop went up to catch the ball, and he slid under him.
So 1 out. We have a runner at second.
Wilmington having its first scoring opportunity here, just a single, and we can bring him home.
2 balls, 1 strike to Frisco. Pitch, that's going to hit the shortstop. Through the first, it's over his head. And I think the ball went out of bounds, so the run will score.
And that is unearned, I would imagine.
Yeah, because that was another error.
Yeah, it's the home score.
Another E6.
The shortstop.
Keep track of the score, Charlie.
So, yeah, it's 1-0. I got the score right here.
All right, so we've got 1 out. We have a man on second base, and we have 1 in.
And up to bat is Stephen Krause, the shortstop. Curveball in there. Call strike. This umpire delays these calls, doesn't he?
Wednesday night's umpire never moved his hands. These
Oh.
little girls that was up here, they couldn't keep track of him.
Wow.
And you couldn't hear him.
I had a fake throw to second. Nobody's there, though. And you're allowed to do that. You just can't do that if you're going to first. So no balls, 1 strike on Krause. And he hits it. It's just a little short pop up here. Looks like the first baseman's got it corralled, and he does.
2 outs.
Two outs. Runner at second.
The right fielder, number 4, Chris Woolery.
Woolery at bat. He's just shooting hoops. He's trying to think probably about shooting a 3, not worrying about hitting a baseball.
Smaller ball.
Pitch is in there. It's low. Ball 1. Woolery's playing right field today. Pitch is there. Oh! Almost hit him in the head, but trying to steal third, and he's going to be out. So Woolery will lead off.
In the bottom of the second inning, right? So we're up to the
we're top of the second.
No, I mean he'll lead off in the bottom.
Yeah, he'll lead off the bottom of the second. And the score is Wilmington 1 and Miami 0. And no hits so far for either team because both the Wilmington runners that did get on base, they
errors and unscored or unearned. So you're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. Charlie Hargrave, Rachel Hargrave, yours truly, Rick Phillips, bringing you Wilmington Hurricane baseball. And we have a doubleheader in store today. This is the first of 2 games.
Yeah, we're going to the top of the second. Wilmington had got the first 3 batters out in order with a ground out, a strikeout, and a fly out. And leading off will be Chapman, and then Spangler, and DeAndrea, who's the pinch hitter, or the designated hitter, excuse me. One thing is interesting, I tell you what, out of the first, looks like 5 or 6 batters here, most of them have been left-handed for Little Miami that are coming up. Hey, the scoreboard just come to life for some reason. Maybe you just need warmed up.
And that's possible. And it actually says 1-0, so it's even correct. And it says second inning. I mean, my gosh. It's magic.
I'll tell you what, you can't make fun of it, though, because if you do this and you go around some of these other fields, baseball is kind of a forgotten sport. I mean, there's not a whole lot of money put into the baseball arena. Shortstop, yep, Chapman coming up, number 12.
And there's virtually no one that's actually broadcasting them like we are.
No. Left-handed batter.
I like all these lefties.
A lot of lefties. First pitch.
Outside.
Strike.
Did he call it a strike?
Yep.
Well, he's got a wide strike zone.
You want to make sure that you don't say stuff too early there, Rick. This umpire takes his time calling him. Second pitch, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, first one was definitely questionable. But I tell you what, when it's a cold day like this and it's windy,
they just want to keep the ball.
You want to hit. You don't want a bunch of walks. If it's close, it's a strike. Low and inside again, 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, Jordan Ionson's pitching. Hit to the third baseman. He kind of boots it, still has time, and gets him out. I come up and kind of caught him in the face a little bit. So we have a ground out, third to first for our first out of the inning, and that was Chapman.
That's still neither team having a hit.
No. Spangler now up. He's the left fielder.
Spangler, number 20, the left fielder.
Now again, Wilmington's showing no respect in the outfield because of the wind. Nice pitch there. Starts off with a strike. This is a good. I like this pitcher for Wilmington. I mean, he's usually first pitch strikes, and that's to your advantage when you can do that.
You definitely want to get ahead.
Batter back on his heels a little bit. Ooh. Next pitch, swung at the ball way outside. No balls, 2 strikes on Spangler. Got a little bit of a crowd here today, too. The bleachers are kind of filling up. Several people bringing their chairs. Strike 3. Nice pitch. Had a little break to it.
So 2 outs.
Another left-hander coming up, DeAndrea, the DH.
Has there been a right-handed batter?
Yeah, there's been 2.
Oh.
Who is this?
DeAndrea,
DeAndrea, number 25.
the DH. First pitch.
It's actually DeAndrea, probably.
DeAndrea, I'm not sure.
I just followed.
First pitch is a strike.
Call him D.
DeAndrea. I don't know, DeAndrea. He knows who we're talking about. Next pitch, strike 2.
He's up there to swing, that's for sure.
Well, those were 2 pretty good pitches to swing at. He's not timing it. Yeah, it's early in the year, guys. I mean, it takes a while for this to get going. Next pitch, down in the dirt, goes clear to the backstop.
Charlie, is that ivy out there on the walls, or is that just tarp?
That's a tarp, Rick.
Oh, okay.
Rick, you definitely need to go get your eyes fixed there, brother. And we actually have some missing tarp for some reason. I don't know.
There was some vandalism. That said, right where that's missing, it said Wilmington baseball.
Oh, really?
Someone stole the W and cut it out and stole the W.
Strike 3. 3 outs. That's 3 Ks for the Wilmington pitcher. And again, no runs, no hits, no errors.
Going to the bottom of the second inning here.
Bottom of the second coming up will be Chris Woolery because he was at the plate when
runner was thrown out at third base.
When Marlon Frisco got thrown out at third. It's 1-0 here, bottom of the second.
We put that netting all around there from post to post last year.
And somebody vandalized the netting out there.
Yeah.
Cut
They
the.
won it, of course, we did.
I tell you what, people do anything nowadays.
It's all back there. And so what the manufacturer did was say, take it all back off, send it to us, and we'll sew in a section and reprint you a W.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it'll remain this time.
Kids don't have much respect for anything anymore. As far as that goes, adults don't either.
They got a lead on a couple kids who it is. So.
Well, 1-0. Here we go. Bottom of the second.
Right fielder, number 4.
Woolery, Ianson, and Davis. Chad Davis will be coming up.
Who is up next? Let's see. That was the DH. And then DeAndre.
Yes, it'll be Phillips. Yeah, when Little Miami comes back up. All right, here we go. Woolery at the plate. Like I said earlier, he's probably wanting to shoot a 3, not worried about hitting a baseball. Here we go. The first pitch down low in the dirt. Ball 1. Again, pitching for Little Miami is Metterhouse. Second pitch, foul down the third base line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tell you, if you can hit it in a gap, you can run forever here because they are playing shallow, especially the center fielders on both teams. That didn't miss by much. It must have been a little low, a little breaking ball coming in there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next pitch. It's hit to the left, and I think it's over his head. He's going to be going. It's going to go clear, not quite to the wall, but Woolery's going to be in there with a double at least. Nice shot. First hit of the game, Chris Woolery, double.
Dan McCain now in scoring position. And that's what we were saying. The way they were playing shallow, all you need to do is poke one out there either between 2 of the outfielders or over their head, and you could run forever.
The pitcher, number 20, Jordan Ianson.
Ianson coming up. Woolery on second, getting a nice big lead out there. Second baseman coming over to cover. They do the fake back to second, but nothing happening. Pitch is on its way, and it's hit the center. I think it's got, nope. It makes a nice catch. Woolery tags and heading toward third. And he's in standing. So we have 1 out.
Woolery at third.
The first baseman, number 14, Chad Davis.
Chad Davis coming up.
Even a nice sacrifice would bring in that second run. That had one heck of a break on it, didn't it?
Get this kid on base. He can fly. Chad's doesn't do this.
Got timeout?
No, called a balk. I don't know. I think he might have went to his mouth while he was on the mound.
All right, so we have a second run that scores, and it's actually registered on the scoreboard. So
2-0. Yeah, I think he. The umpires are kind of explaining right now to little Miami coach what happened. I think he went to his mouth while he was on the mound. They called the balk on him.
He comes set. He's got to come deliver. Yeah. So counts right. One strike. It's it.
Next pitch inside, almost hit him. Chad Davis is the batter. He hits one to right over the shortstop's head for a base hit.
Drops in.
For our second hit of the game.
The center fielder, number 11, Brady McCune.
Brady McCune coming up. Davis on first. And he fakes stealing. Oh, the ball's off the pitcher's glove. They're going to try to get a second. Oh! They called him out at second. I don't know, but I was awful close. So Brady McCune gets on base, but Davis is called out at second. So that's a fielder's choice.
The catcher, number 12, Caden Laughlin.
So we now have 2 outs. Runner at first base.
2 outs, yep, runner at first, and Caden Laughlin is at the plate.
You see we got 2 outs?
Yeah.
Strike one. Caden Laughlin is the catcher. Big lead by Brady McCune. Stays put. Ball's away. So McCune takes second on the pass ball. Pitches in, fouled off. Two outs, Caden Laughlin at bat. We have Brady McCune at second. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch is coming on its way. Curveball is hit to the first base side. He fields it, throws it to the pitcher, and we have 3 outs.
And after 2 innings in the book, Wilmington leads 2-0.
Yep, 2-0. Wilmington, they have 2 hits. Little Miami has 3 errors so far.
Which you would expect at the beginning of the year. You're going to be a little more prone to those errors.
Well, and the cold doesn't help any. I mean, yeah, we're complaining up here.
Well, they're actually moving around a lot more than we are. We're just sitting here or standing here, or very little movement up here in the booth compared to the players down on the field. I would imagine most of the crowd that we're seeing down there is probably Wilmington parents and fans.
Well, Little Miami's not too far away. There's probably some maybe from there.
So with spring sports, we're going to be covering baseball, and we're going to be covering softball. We're going to try to get some tennis in. That logistically is going to be, in some cases, a little more challenging, I guess you could say, from the fact that typically with the tennis matches, there's multiple matches going on at the same time. So whether we actually just pick maybe a good matchup for Wilmington, we'll attempt. Everything that we're doing in spring sports will be home games. So it'll be home baseball and softball games, no away games. We may do some track and field, a special, and it'll be at East Clinton High School. They have a relay coming up, so we might go out and do some broadcasting from East Clinton, and we'll let you know. Just keep an eye on our website and our event calendar so that you are aware of what's going on as far as our games. And of course, particularly with baseball and softball, weather permitting. And I'll have to get with Troy Deals and make sure that we've got notification. So typically a game, I would imagine, for the evening would be called off by maybe 1 o'clock because of travel and things like that. So we'll try to alert you if there's any postponed or delayed games as far as baseball or softball.
First pitch to Phillips here in the top of the third is a strike. He's the second baseman. And we have 7, 8, 9 coming up for Little Miami. Phillips, Shirey, and Javidon. I'm not sure how you say it last name.
Sounds French.
Next pitch is a curve outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Phillips. Next pitch.
That looks
Nice
good.
pitch, yeah. Fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, no hits so far for the little Miami Panthers. Phillips at the plate, shortens up. Just going to try to make some contact here. And he strikes out. Got him on the breaking ball. Looked like that might have been a changeup. And that's the 4th K in the game for Jordan Ianson.
The catcher, number 3, Shirey.
Shirey at the plate now. The catcher. Pitch right down the heart of the plate. Strike 1. Nice cold day here, but at least the sun's out. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Easter weekend. Ball up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the catcher, Shirey. Next pitch, a swinging strike. Swing and miss. Big high fastball coming in. Shirey couldn't hold off of it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch. Close, just a little outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We got a pretty good vantage point. We are, right?
Almost directly.
Behind home plate, and we're up high. Next pitch is hit to the second baseman, lined out. Shirey hit the ball hard, just right at Brad Keller, who hauls it in.
Who's this?
This is that Javadon or whatever.
The right fielder, number 4, Gavin.
Gavadon, okay. I'll go with that. You don't know either. Here we go. Swinging strike. Another left-hander. About 5 of their starters are left-handers. Another swinging strike. He's up there to hit. He's kind of bailing out, though. He needs to keep that front foot going forward, and he's kind of bailing out to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Held off that one. I'm sure his coaches have told him that, but yeah, you don't want to pull out because then you're pulling your bat away from where the ball may be. You want to step toward the pitcher. Breaking ball up high, no good. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I started hitting it and started beeping, so I think it was cold. I don't know.
Here's the thing. They couldn't get the home side to work over there either. Jeffrey Mansfield was working on it.
You think it's wireless?
I don't know. But all of a sudden he said, well, I don't know, I got tired of it, so I just hit it and it started working.
Well, it
Strike
just-
3 on Javadon.
So I'm going to go try and hit it and I'm walking up.
And that's
Okay. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts for the Wilmington pitcher.
And still no hits for the Panthers.
Right.
I was in between innings. I reached over and hit it. We got love.
It's still responding now.
No hits. Miami has 3 errors, no runs. Wilmington has 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors.
Long goal.
We're getting ready to start the bottom of the 3rd. And Wilmington's going to have their lead off
One there.
batter up. Andrew Davis, Keller, and Frisco will be coming to the plate for Wilmington.
So, who? Andrew Davis. Who made last out for Wilmington? I had
Lawfer.
offer, so top of the order.
Top of the order's coming up. I just said that if you're paying attention.
But Little Miami's lineup,
Yes, sir.
actually 12 is the third baseman and 9 is, we switched those, so.
Okay.
9 is shortstop.
You didn't change the order,
No,
obviously.
No, Carpenter is shortstop, Chapman's third base.
Hey, how do you pronounce
Jevon.
Javadon.
Javadon? Okay.
I got it.
Yeah, you got close.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the third. Andrew Davis. He flew out to center in the first.
Baseman, number 2, Andrew Davis.
Can you hear that on there? Yeah. Sounds good. I turn up any more, I'll get feedback. Sounds good.
The other thing is, I know that we've got weather issues sometimes with baseball and softball, so if you can either email me or just
First pitch inside. Ball 1 to Davis.
what, about 1 o'clock maybe for an evening game?
I like to wait as long as we can.
Next pitch.
Make the right call.
Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Email, so I can add you to my list to notify when I do that. That way, you're on there. Okay. All right. Yeah, just send me an email.
That'll work.
Strike 2. Looks like maybe a little change up there. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Andrew Davis here in the bottom of the third. Wilmington's up 2-0.
They've got a doubleheader game.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And McDonald's coffee. I like their uniforms. They're really nice.
What are the black ones?
No, these were white, gray. No, I thought. Well, she had a windbreaker on the one girl, but it looked like she was just a
Full count.
cane on the front. Really nice.
Third baseman's playing way back, which is kind of odd against the leadoff hitter. You think he might be playing up a little bit. Full count. Ball's hit the left field. It's fair, I think. Yep, just hit right on the line, it looked like. He's going to try to stretch it for 2.
It's gonna be close, and he's in.
And he's in there with a double.
There you go.
He's quick.
Andrew Davis.
Speedy on the base paths.
The second baseman, number 1, Brad Keller.
Keller got on base the first time and scored. He got on base via error to the shortstop there. And Keller almost looks like he might be maybe going to square up here the way he was standing, but no. Swinging away. Foul ball out of play to our right side.
Once again, our video will be available tomorrow afternoon, sometime between 1 and 3, at least the first game. Then it'll be followed. We'll post the second game just as soon as the processing's done and it's available.
Second pitch, curveball.
Oh, that was nice.
That's going to be hit to right center. They're going to wave him around. He's coming to the plate. It's a good throw, and he's going to be out by 10 feet or more. But then the catcher throws it to second, nothing there. So Keller gets a base hit. Ends up at second.
Wilmington definitely being aggressive, trying to put as many runs on the board as they can.
Number 10, Marlon Frisco.
So we got 1 out, runner at second. Nice throw by the outfielder into home plate, and to get the out, like I said, it was 10 feet. It wasn't even close. First pitch looks like it's a ball outside to Frisco. Frisco got on the first time also via the error of the shortstop. Ball's hit the short this time. Throw to first. And they get him, and they hold the runner at second.
So we got 2 outs.
2 outs.
2 outs.
1 runner on base at second.
The shortstop, number 22, Stephen Kraus.
Kraus up. He just had a little pop-up to the first baseman the first time, so he's 0 for 1 today. Again, got that runner out there at second, Brad Keller. Second baseman trying to hold him close. Backs off. First pitch is a ball in there in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Shiree, for Little Miami. Second baseman covering. Fake throw. They haven't thrown back there once, but they faked 2 or 3 times.
Just trying to keep the runner close.
Ball's just a little high. 2 balls, no strikes. Two outs. Runner fakes like he's going. It's popped up. I think it's going to be foul territory.
Just out of
Out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Getting a pretty good lead out there at second. Pitch is thrown in. Oh, a nice hard shot down the third base line. This should score the runner.
Right.
And it will. So it's 3-0. And a nice hard shot there. For a base hit by Kraus.
It's good to see Wilmington scoring with 2 outs like that. That's if you're going to win games, you need to be able to bring those base runners in, even with the 2 outs.
So we got runner first. Another
Nice.
hit right up the middle by Rory. They'll put runners at first and second.
That was a nice piece of hitting right up the center, just past the pitcher.
So runners at first and second here. 1 run in this inning. It's 3-0. Ianson at the plate. 2 outs, so anything hit, everybody's going. Ball gets by the catcher, so we're going to have runners on second and third now. Another pass ball. I don't keep track of pitches. That's you, big boy.
Yeah, we'll call it first.
I think it was a second.
Okay.
I think it's 2 balls.
Oh.
Nope, you're right. 2 balls, no strikes. Runners at second and third. Well, see, it's so cold up here, it's hard to think.
Is that it, Charlie? Back to the space heater there, Troy.
Too much wood up here for that.
Hey, Jim also mentioned that too, though. It wasn't just me. Let's not just throw Chuck under the bus here. 3-0. Now, if you believe in numbers, it's quite a count here. 3 balls, no strikes, 3-0. We're in the bottom of the third inning.
Good opportunity for Wilmington to break this game open. If they can score these 2 runners.
Well, I mean, Little Miami hasn't even got a hit yet, so I mean, I think Wilmington's in pretty good shape.
Oh, that was down the pipe.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him taking 3-0. 3 balls, 1 strike on Ianson. Runners got to be ready to ball 4. It's our first walk of the game.
All right, so bases are loaded. 2 outs.
The first baseman, number 14, Chad Davis.
And Chad had a base hit the last time.
And Chad is the speed demon, so if he hits this, he can run for a while.
He's only going to run as fast as the guy in front of him.
Now, we got some pretty good speed out there.
Strike.
I always hated that when I was batting. I'd be on base, somebody fast behind me. I'm like,
I was going to say, Charlie, you weren't running anybody down.
no. Ball's popped up. Shortstop's calling. He drops
the ball.
Runner scores.
And there's no infield fly rule there because there's 2 outs. And if there had been less than 2 outs, they probably would have called infield fly rule on that.
So once again, bases loaded, still 2 outs.
So that's an 86.
Center fielder, number 11, Brady McCune.
4-0.
Got a couple unearned runs in this
They got
game.
like 3 of them. 3 out of the 4, I think, has been unearned. 4-0. Bases loaded.
Nice.
Yeah, it did.
That one had eyes.
Another base hit. Looks like they're going to try to send the second one in. He's going to be out. So 1 runs did score
So we actually had, what, 2 runners thrown out at the plate
so
so
far.
far?
So it's 5-0.
And it's Lawfer, not Loeffner.
Lawfer. Yeah.
And it's going to be top of 4.
Yep, 5-0, top of the 4th. Wilmington has 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors. Well, Little Miami has no runs on no hits with 4 errors. And Wilmington's pitcher is pitching a really good game. He's got 5 strikeouts so far. And we're going to be in the top of the 4th, and we're going to go back to Little Miami's top of their order also. Ballard, Sweeney, and Carpenter. Bunch of left-handers getting ready to come up. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast here on Campus Nation today. It's something new. Tell us whether you like it or not. If you know Rick Phillips or myself, Charlie Hargraves, send us a note, and we'll do these if you guys want them. That's kind of the way we're going to look at it, I think. So, and it does bring some attention to sports that don't always get a lot of attention.
That's right. Usually your primary sports of football and basketball, they get the attention, and particularly with our basketball team just finishing up in the semis there in Columbus. And that game is on our website, so you can take a look at the semifinal game, as well as all the basketball season, the football season. We have some SCOL swimming on our website. And we've got even games from a couple years past there.
So Wilmington, 5-0 here, top of the 4th. Just cruising right along is Jordan Ianson. I always want to say, I think Ianson sounds better.
So what are you going to do, Charlie? Rename him?
Well, I could.
Well, his parents may object to that.
Well, that's all right. They're not paying us. As far as that goes, you're not paying us either, so I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Jordan Ianson.
We got food at the games.
Yeah, maybe.
Are you doing a DJ event
I'm
tonight?
DJing at the VFW tonight from 8 to midnight. I just found out about an hour ago.
And they're feeding you, right?
Well, yeah, probably.
They don't know, but yeah.
First pitch is a strike. They're going to pay me. That's the main thing.
You got a cornucopia of food today.
They're going to pay me. That's the main thing. Now I'm filling in. I guess our regular DJ, his mom is in bad shape, so prayers go out to her. First pitch swing, or second pitch swinging.
Oh, he pulled his foot.
Pulled his foot. So we have an error on the first baseman. And Little Miami has their first base runner of the day. I don't give that a hit because they had him out if it had been a good throw. They could call that error on the first baseman or the second baseman. Probably more likely the second baseman.
Yeah, but I believe it is an error, so
yeah,
there is no hit yet.
Yep, 24 up. Sweeney, he struck out his first time at bat. Ballard's on base at first. He fakes stealing. Ball's hit in the air to the outfield. Center fielder's got a track on it. He catches it, and there's no tag from the runner at first, so we just have a fly out to center for our first out. And Carpenter, the shortstop, coming up. And
Number 9, the shortstop, Carpenter.
he flew out to center his first time at bat. Throw to first, really no need to. The Panther base runner hadn't even got 2 steps off the bag yet. And he's not getting a huge lead down there. Pitch to the plate, strike 1. This is the first time he's had to pitch from the stretch today. It is Ianson. Again, throw to first. Pitch to the plate. It's drilled to left field.
Oh, that one's
Home run over the left field wall.
that was impressive.
Left fielder turned around. He lost where it was at. So Carpenter. Big hit.
Rachel, would you run out there and get it?
Big hit.
Yeah,
Home
that
run.
was nice.
That was on no one count.
So that changes the game.
How far out was that, Charlie?
5-2. Well,
did the laser measure it?
I would say that was probably at least 335, 40 feet because it was over the left field wall.
Yeah, that was good.
And it went over between the 320 and 335 mark. I got out here quick, folks. 5-2. Little Miami getting right back in the game here. Up to bat is third baseman Chapman. He had a ground out to the third baseman his first at bat. Two balls, no strikes. He's not falling through now is Ianson.
Yep.
Catcher's going to go out and talk to him. He's kind of getting, we're saying, we see it in basketball all the time. You make a mistake, and then rather than just get over it and go on, you tend to end up making another mistake like right away. Like you might miss a shot on offense or get the ball stolen, then you go down, you commit a foul, just right away. That's kind of what's going on here. He just needs to settle down. He's had one bad pitch, basically. Now he's 3-0. Oh, he called that a strike. Wow, okay.
That
two balls, one strike. Yeah.
Yeah.
It caught the big black of the corner.
I was going to say it would.
Foul ball, out play. Hopefully it's not my car. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman Chapman. Like I said, grounded out the first time at bat. Pitch is on its way. Full count. Nobody on base, 1 out. 5-2. A nice big home run here by Carpenter. Shot over the left field wall. That one's out of bounds, so out of play again. Over in the bullpen area.
And just a programming note, the Razor's Edge, which is normally on from 7 to 9 on our Talk TV network, won't be on tomorrow. Obviously, it's Easter, so we wish everybody a happy Easter, and we'll be on the air again next Sunday from 7 to 9.
Fouled out play again. He's hanging tough, is Chapman.
I think Carpenter's the one that hit the home run. I think he's the one that's already signed with UC. I wouldn't swear to that, but I'm pretty sure. I know they've got a player that signed with UC.
You need to find this stuff out before.
He definitely has power, that's for sure.
Another foul ball out play.
Well, he's attempting to stay alive. There's only 1 out, so Little Miami trying to develop a little rally here.
They got a little confidence going, He got 2 runs in this inning, 5-2. And that one's going to be fair, but it's going to be, I think, caught. Yeah. Fly out to left.
2 outs.
Second out. Coming to bat is Spangler, who K'd the first time.
The left fielder, number 20, Spangler.
We got a nice breeze going on in this booth, and we got all the windows shut. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from.
Oh, there's just a little crack in the window over here, Charlie.
Oh, that's where I'm feeling it. Okay.
Charlie, he is so sensitive. It's incredible.
5-2. I just feel air coming on.
You'd figure with a little bit of...
Wet leather. He's just tougher than wet leather.
Wet leather, that's right.
Ball gets by. I'll be glad when we come do these games I'm wearing shorts or something like that. That'll be fun.
That will be scary.
5-2. Stayed up high. Little breaking ball there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was one of my old buddy Chuck, Chuck Fuller.
Yeah.
That's one of his famous sayings, tougher than wet leather.
Tougher than wet leather, I hear you. Strike. Foul tip, actually. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On number 20, Spangler. Little Miami showing some signs of life here. 5-2. 2 out. Ball's outside. 2-2 on the batter. The pitch. Strike 3. Woo, that was a low one, too. That was a low strike. I don't think Spangler's too happy about that. He'd been in the major leagues, he'd be turning around talking to the umpire. But in high school, you just turn around and go on. Coming up for the Hurricane in the bottom of the fourth will be Laufer, Davis, and Keller. 9-1-2 coming up for the Hurricane. 5-2. Will Miami has 1 hit, 4 errors, and 2 runs. Wilmington has 5 runs, 7 hits, and to my knowledge, do we have an error on Wilmington yet?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we have 1 error at first base.
Yeah, 1 error on Wilmington so far. Yep. I put down as E3, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the official score said.
Get him right here. He didn't have to go too high.
Oh, stand up a minute. Yeah, we got a nice little crowd outside considering it's just a little nipply today.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll take it that I'm up here. The only thing I wish I would have done was maybe wear a little bit warmer clothes, but that was my fault.
But you're up here in great company.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Enjoying it.
The Sabina Flash.
Oh, that's no flash here. Tell her possibly. Possibly. All right. We could probably get her over there. Just remember she can get
The
right
catcher,
over.
number 12, Caden Laufer.
Caden Laufer coming up to bat. Bottom of the fourth, first pitch. Strike 1 on Laufer. Laufer, his first at bat, he grounded out to the first baseman. Second pitch fouled hard out of play. I think that might have got that Ford car over there, that red Ford that time.
It's all right. It's insured, Charlie.
One ball, 2 strikes. Spangler. Ball's hit to the third baseman. He boots it. Still has time to get him out, but he throws it way over his head. So he'll get second base on that. So we have another error.
That was over to the soccer players. Looks like they're out practicing.
The third baseman, number 2, Andrew Davis.
Davis coming up here with a runner at second. The ball was fielded. I mean, he had time to get him out there, but he threw it about 20 feet over the first baseman's head. Just a little high.
That's right. Could have jumped maybe and
Just
caught
a
it,
little high. Bogart couldn't even caught that one.
No.
Jumping.
Dylan, I talked to him the other day. He was up here in the booth when they were practicing.
Strike. On first pitch to Davis. Little curveball, caught the inside corner. One ball, 1 strike. I think the pitcher wanted as a strike. The umpire's been calling him down there, but that one he said was just a little low. 5-2, bottom of 4 here. Pitch is on its way. Now a little curve. It didn't really curve. Kind of stayed inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. And again, this is the first of 2 today. 2 games going on here today. So if you feel like you want to come out for the second one, come up, say hi. We're up in the booth. Ball to third base, looks the runner back. He's going anyhow. Throw to first. He got the out there, and the runner makes it to third safely. So Laufer goes to third on the play. And we have a ground out on Davis from third to first.
We'll have to figure out exactly
So
how much
one out.
time between between the two games.
Usually it's half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Second baseman, number
So
one,
we'll give you an
Brad
idea
Keller.
before we sign off after this first game when we'll be back on the air for the second game, because we'll take a break as well.
1 out, runner at third. Nice pitch, a little curve, strike one to Brad Keller. Keller is 1 for 2 today. He's got a base hit, and he got on both times. He scored 2 of the Kane runs. Ball's hit the center, and looks like it's going to be caught. Should be enough to get the runner home. He's tagging, and he scores. They're going to check him at third, I think. They think maybe he left too soon. They going to check him?
Don't think so.
I tell you what, though, you always should check.
The left fielder, number 10, Marlon Frisco.
They're going to check, see if he left too soon, I think.
Doesn't appear.
Nope, I thought he was going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Ball's lined to center. It's going to drop in for a base hit.
The shortstop, number 22, Stephen Kraus.
Frisco lines a shot up the middle for a base hit. So we have 1 run in this inning. It's 6-2. And we have Frisco on first base. Caden Lawford did score on that fly out. We thought they were going to check him at third. A couple of people thought he might have left too soon, but the coach didn't do it. Ball's in the dirt, but the runner stays. 2 balls, no strikes. Frisco at first. Kraus at the plate. Kraus is 1 for 2 with a base hit, and he also had a little pop up to the first baseman. Stealing. Throws there.
Safe.
Safe.
You call that strike, didn't you?
I wasn't paying attention when he called strike. So we have stolen base by Frisco, which that was pretty close play down there. I thought the ball got there ahead of him, but it looked like he slid to the outside of second base, so it made it hard for the little Miami player to get the tag down.
Right, couldn't put the tag on him. The ball was there before.
3 balls, 1 strike. That looked like a pretty nice pitch, too, that last one. I'm surprised he didn't get the call there. Runner at second. Only 1 out right now. Kraus at the batter. Oh, threw it down to second. That was a scary throw because when he threw that, there wasn't anybody there.
2 outs. There was a pop flying.
2 outs. Okay, I was just looking at your board. You had 1 up there. Now you got 2 because you just added it.
All right, so he corrected himself there.
Yeah, I just didn't put my 2 here. All right, 2 outs. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Strike
3. I believe that's the first strikeout for Wilmington today. So it's 6-2 right now, heading into the top of the 5th. And for Little Miami, they'll have DeAndrea, Phillips, and Shiree coming to the plate.
And you're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. I don't know whether we're going to do any college spring sports, Charlie. We got to get with Amir and find out.
He said he doesn't want us doing baseball or softball, right?
Well, I don't. He does a lot of the baseball. Now,
It's cold up here when that fly can't even see me or feel me.
well, he's just sleeping. We could do lacrosse because I don't think that, but now we're going to have to get someone that's knowledgeable, especially if we're going to do cane lacrosse. They're going to be starting in.
Can't be that hard. Catch the ball, throw it in the net.
Is that it, Charlie?
I think that's pretty much the way it is.
Nothing subtle about your play-by-play.
Catch the ball, throw it in the net. They ran into each other here.
Soccer with sticks, obviously.
Soccer with sticks. There you go. Again, we're here at Wilmington High School, the old Miami Panthers against the Wilmington Hurricane, and it's the top of the fifth. Wilmington up 6-2, and starting pitcher Jordan Ianson is still in the game. Coming up for
25, Andrea.
Little Miami is DeAndrea, who struck out his first time at the plate, and then Phillips and Shiree, left-hander here, DeAndrea.
There's plenty of blankets out there, Charlie. Maybe I could go snag one for you.
I brought one in. My wife was using it. I don't know what she did with it.
You didn't mean to hide out in, I didn't mean to hide out in on that.
You need to do that for People's Bank. Get them to be a sponsor here.
Of blankets?
No, of the
they
sports
put
show.
You can put your name on blankets, and we'd.
Is that a ball or strike?
That's a ball. Pay attention, will you? Tell you what, we're having problems with our PA, man. I tell you, he's 2 balls, no strikes.
It should be no problem as slow as the game of baseball is.
Multitask.
You know, it's not like.
That's the nice thing about baseball, though. You can talk, too, about other stuff. We haven't even hit the political arena yet. 3 balls,
no, Charlie.
No strikes.
And we're not talking any Catholic schools today. So
No recruiting today. No recruiting in the hood today. That's right.
We've eliminated that.
That's no fun. 3 balls, no strikes. Pitch is in. Strike. Ooh, that was a border. That was a give me strike here.
Actually,
3 balls, 1 strike.
This was the first time in a long time that there were no Catholic schools in the Final Four as far as basketball.
Well, and just in our division, every other
Division One.
Every other division was won by Catholic schools. Okay, that's our first walk of the day by the Wilmington pitcher. DeAndrea goes to first base.
The second baseman, number 2, Phillips.
Phillips is up, and he's second baseman. He struck out his first time at the plate. Don't think we have to worry about any stealing going on, although we do have a throw over to first already. And they're getting a decent lead. Oh, nice shot. In between short and third for a base hit. Put runners at first and second for the Panthers. With Shiree coming to the plate.
The catcher, number 3, Shiree.
He flied out or popped out to the second baseman his first time at bat. Well, Miami gets their second hit of the game. Little rally going here, first and second, nobody out. Looking at Button, the ball almost got away. That's a smart play here. I like what the coach is thinking here. If you lay a little bunt down, move the runners over, you never know. I tell you, when it's cold like this, they can throw the ball clear down the right field line, and you may end up scoring a couple runs. So, yeah, I like the idea of a little bunt. Plus, it makes the third baseman think. It's going to be a fly out to right field. Chris Laurie, he throws it back in. See, the bunt would do a lot more for you than that. Fly out 9. 1 out. Jevedon coming up. The right fielder.
Number 4, the right fielder, Jevedon.
I noticed that. Here we go. First and second, left-hander Jevedon, the 9 batter. He struck out his first time at the plate.
You're calling Jevy, so we're on it. I think we got it right, Jevedon.
Pitch to the plate. And it's just a little squibber. Past the mound. That's going to be trouble. Everybody's safe.
It was effective.
We'll give that a base hit.
Yeah,
just a little squibber past the mound by Jevedon. We have the bases loaded now with 1 out. And Ballard coming up. He is 0 for 2.
Pitcher?
No, that's the DH, that Mitterhouse. Yeah, that's the DH. So we're back to the top of the order. Ballard coming up. Bases loaded. Ball inside, pretty close. Could have been called a strike. This Ballard likes to hug the plate. I noticed that the first time up. Foul ball, straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ballard. Left-hander. Pitches up. Outside. Got to watch pass ball here because that's going to mean a run most likely. Well, I don't know. Who is that on third? DeAndre. I mean, maybe not. DeAndrea. 3 balls, 1 strike. Got to come to him here. Or they call that a strike. That's a late. He calls them late, doesn't he? 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on its way.
Oh, struck out.
Yep, struck out.
All right, 2 outs.
24.
Sweeney, he flew out.
24, Sweeney.
He flew out to center his second time up, and his first time up he K'd, so he's 0 for 2 on the day. 2 outs. Ooh, inside. Again, he's another plate hugger. He's right on that inside line of the box. 1 ball, no strikes.
Looks like he's moved back just a little.
I would too after that first pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, you just got to take now. You don't swing. You got to wait until he throws you a strike because these runs are too important out there.
That's right.
Plus, on deck is Carpenter, and you don't want to face him. He's the one that jacked one on you earlier.
Right now is the time to get the out.
2 outs. You don't want Carpenter coming up. 3-0, but that's what they're going to do, it looks like. He's got to come to him with 3 straight strikes right now.
Digging himself a hole. 6-2.
I don't know if you give this guy the green light or not. I don't know this team well enough.
No,
I wouldn't.
I'd take the
I
ball.
wouldn't. I would take it, but and he didn't have a choice but to take a walk, so we got a walk. That's going to walk a run in.
All right, so the bases remain loaded.
And,
of course,
and their big hitter, the guy that hit the home run, a 335-foot home run, is up to bat. The base is loaded.
Number 9, the shortstop, Carpenter.
Well, Miami could go ahead here with 1 swing of the bat. And Coach Niesel,
talk it over.
Is that how you say his name? Niesel. Coach Niesel is coming to the mound.
Right, Rick Niesel.
Alumni here.
You think Carpenter is the one that might be going to UC next year?
I think so.
I tell you what, he had a nice stroke at his first time up. He flew out to center, and his second time up, like I said, he cranked one. It was over the left field wall, probably 20 feet.
And it happened fast. He jacked it.
Wilmington having a little meeting at the mound here, figure out what they're going to do. It's very simple. You got to keep the ball low to him. You got to throw a strike. Try to get ahead of him. Maybe try to meet him with something high down the middle that you can K him with.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get it up. You want to make sure that if he's going to do anything, he'll either ground out or at least he'll put it on the ground. You've got more of an opportunity. You don't want him
6-3. I'll tell you what, who's up after him? The next guy up, Chapman, hasn't got a hit yet, but he's made contact each time. First pitch, strike 1. And it looked like he was taken all the way. It was Carpenter.
Well, they may have thought that they would walk him.
He's hard to walk and run in. Even though that might be the smart thing to do. Strike 2, had a little trouble.
Way out in front of that.
Had a little trouble with the curveball. Now he's got to protect. No balls, 2 strikes. So he's got to be ready for the fastball or that off-speed pitch. You got to make your decision so quick in baseball. Next pitch, outside. Nice pitch, outside. Try to get him to go for some junk outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Could be the turning point of the game right here, folks.
2 outs,
Either
6-3.
Either way, it's a turning point of the game. Next pitch, outside again. Carpenter disciplined not to go after it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases juiced. 6-3. You got your guy that hit the home run up at the plate. Next pitch.
Oh,
Oh! Wow.
That was a nice pitch, too.
Wow. Struck him out. Didn't see that coming. Just kind of froze him right there. So they left 3 on base, 6-3. And the coach guys, that was a little bit of a high strike. You got to admit, that last one was a high strike. So
Looked good to me.
well, it looked good. It was down the pipe, but it was on the high end of the strike
It was
zone.
too high to take. Let's put it that way.
He's too good a hitter to take. That's right.
Yeah.
Too good a hitter right there to take.
So, going into the bottom of the 5th, we still have Wilmington with a lead, 6-3. And coming up, it looks like it's Worry, Ianson, and Davis. Getting used to that Ianson. It's taking me a little while there.
It's a little 7th inning stretch in the 6th inning.
Yeah. Just a little stretch. Just a little stretch.
Charlie. Such a wuss.
No sense in having it open, gentlemen.
Well,
It's called common sense.
It's called fresh air, Charlie.
It's called common sense, dudes. I mean, when it's cold, you don't have your windows open.
Oh, gosh. Wah. It's baseball,
I'll tell you that,
Charlie.
these liberal Democrats up here I got to put up with. I tell you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's only 2 like in the county, Charlie, so I mean, it's not us.
That's why you two vote for Hillary right there. You don't even know how to get out of the cold. You don't even know how to shut a window in the cold.
You can't outrun me.
Just having a little fun up here, folks. Chris Worry getting ready to come up to the plate. He is,
Right fielder number 4, Chris Wallery.
and he's 2 for 2 on the day, a double and a single. It's Worry, Johnson, and Davis. First pitch, drilled to center, and it's going to be his first out of the day. Fly out. Nice hard hit, but just right at the center fielder. 1 out. Johnson coming up. He has got a sacrifice fly and a walk. So he hasn't really had an official at bat yet today. First pitch is a strike to Johnson.
Ianson.
Jordan Ianson, sorry. I saw the Joe and the Johnson, and I was like, okay. Jordan Ianson. Well, you guys with your liberal, hey, shut that window. You guys,
He's got to be able to see, Charlie.
he can see.
Ah, nice breeze. Balmy. It's a balmy day.
Did that hit him?
Yeah, he's in the bay.
So he still doesn't have a hit today, but he's on base. He's hit by
First
pitch.
baseman number 14, Chad Davis.
Chad Davis up. And we have a timeout. Oh, we're going to get a coat for the pitcher here.
Courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner or coat? Got a courtesy runner, number 27, which is who, Mr. Rory?
Number 27 is Brett Bell.
Brett Bell, courtesy runner for the Cane, coming in.
You wanted them to bring you a coat, right, Charlie?
We got action in the bullpen.
I tell you what,
Bullpen down there.
I just
Who is that down there?
my nose is just running.
Yeah, it is.
My guess is Brady McCune. 11 is Brady McCune warming up.
Brady McCune.
Brady McCune warming up in the pen for the Cane. So we got runner at first here. That is Ianson.
It is.
And Chad Davis is up. We do have a new pitcher for Little Miami, which wasn't reported to us. What is his name, number 5?
Bailey?
Bailey pitching for Little Miami now.
That's what happens when we're in the booth here. We make it more difficult for the official scorer.
Well, the umpire ought to
record keeper slash do it everything, right?
The umpire ought to be letting us know that.
So what's the count? Anybody know? 'Cause I think I missed one there.
I'm gonna say it's 1-1. I'm just guessing though. That make a difference. Ball's that's going to be foul, I think.
Yeah.
Foul ball.
Okay, what's the umpire say the strike count is?
He doesn't say anything. Right
Come
now.
on. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No balls, 2 strikes. To Chad Davis.
He heard me.
Ianson on first. And the pitch, and it's fouled again down the third base line.
Tried to go with the pitch there.
Oh, caught him sleeping over there. Safe. Wow. I think they caught the umpire sleeping too. They almost picked off Ianson at first.
27, Brett Bell.
Bell.
He's
Or Bell, I'm sorry. Brett Bell, yes, the courtesy runner.
So I guess the umpire wasn't the only one sleeping, Charlie.
No. Then we have a strikeout on Davis.
2 outs.
We have a pinch hitter here.
Number 15, Tyler Wells.
Tyler Wells.
I don't know what position he'll be going in at.
He's probably just pinch hitting because they'll probably bring McCune back in.
Yeah.
Tyler Wells batting.
Looks like McCune has warmed up and is ready.
So this will be Tyler Wells' only action. It'll just be a pinch hit in this game. If they bring McCune back in, that's what seems to be the assumption up here. Ball, first pitch. Bottom of 5. We have a ball. I didn't see what he did. Huh?
He came set and he brought his hands right
Okay.
back. You can't do that.
Come set, and then he come out being set.
All right, you have to pitch.
Balk. So base hit now. Gets the Cane up another run. Nice strike pitch there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, this is on Tyler Wells, the pinch hitter for Brady McCune. He was warming up in the bullpen. Ball turned down to second.
Back in plenty of time.
No problem.
Just trying to keep the runner close. There you go, Charlie. Fresh air's gone. Now you can breathe the old stale air.
He's thinking the same way I am. What is what it is? And so he's cold too. So don't just get on me. 2 balls, 1 strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. We missed a pitch here.
Oh.
Little pop
ball
down the third base line, fouled out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, since they don't have ivy on the walls out there, Charlie, if they grew the grass a little longer, they could comb it up.
What's you with ivy?
I think it would look nice. Wouldn't it look nice?
There's your man right there.
That's your man. I still think that he's not probably going to lose out at the convention.
Nah.
What do you think?
Full count.
Multitasking.
2 outs.
I've been here since about the 30th.
Tyler Wells at the plate.
Yeah, I saw that.
The pitch. Fouled off again.
He didn't say it, but they open up their palm and he swings, that left-handed swing, all the way straight up. Tyler needs to rotate his hands. That's the first time I've ever seen Jordan give up.
Oh,
Was he
ball's
hit?
thrown. No, the ball's thrown behind him. That's going to be ball 4. So the runner will go to third. Wells will go to first
2 outs.
on the walk.
Who is this, 18? 18. I don't see 18. Ryan Hottinger.
Ryan,
The
who?
batter, number 18, Ryan Hottinger.
Well, if the runner went to third, that wasn't a walk.
Yeah, because it was a pass ball. He went to went to third on the pass ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, it would have to be.
But it was also a walk, too. That was ball 4.
Yeah, it was behind it.
Ryan Hottinger coming to the plate. And we've got another courtesy runner, it looks like. Number 5, who's that?
Number 5
Johnny Bench.
is Alex Manzer.
Oh.
Alex Manzer is running for Tyler Wells, who's now out of the game. Tyler Wells is done for the day until the second game. Up to bat here is Hottinger, batting for Caden Lawfer. We got 2 outs, runners at first and third. Umpire getting all this straight, all these changes. Ball thrown to first. Dangerous throw. You got a runner at third. One thing I like the little Miami right fielder did there, he knew it didn't make much of a difference. He is coming in to back up that throw. So the thing about baseball, it doesn't make a difference. Every pitch you need to be running. Ball thrown down the third, but nothing there. Ball got away, actually.
Looked like it hit the...
And the only thing that did was let our courtesy runner go to second. So now we have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
We could use these 2 runs here. Oh.
No balls, 2 strikes on the pinch hitter, Hottinger here. Fouled out play. It's heading toward that Ford, that red Ford back there.
No, I think it's more like that. What's that silver? That silver piece of junk out there.
Listen to you.
That have appreciation for fine classics.
That's
Yeah.
right.
At least I didn't drive the hearse today. I'd be throwing you
That
in
would be interesting. Yeah,
outside. I'll have to get it out tonight.
you'd be ready.
Load it up.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd be.
I
ready
got a
for
lot of
the
work to
weekend.
do when we get home tonight. That's all right. We can. Nope, use the
Out.
bucks. Strikeout by Hottinger. That's 3. So we're going to go to the top of the 6th here with Wilmington leading 6-3. Looks like I think we're going to have a new pitcher. The new pitcher is going to be Brady McCune. He's going to re-enter the game. And coming up will be Chapman, Spangler, and DeAndrea. I like DeAndrea better.
Yeah, that's because
We don't know which. They didn't say what it is, so it could be either way, yeah.
He said you were saying it wrong, whatever it was, right?
Well, he did. He doesn't know.
When I was up at Ohio State, remember Michael DeAndrea?
That doesn't mean it's the same guy.
There you go. Well, it's probably
It's his brother. Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
brother from the mother.
Let me get my feet up here off the floor here a little bit. Chapman, Spangler, and DeAndrea, whoever is coming up. In between all of them, they've got 1 walk. They're basically 0 for 5 with DeAndrea having the only walk.
Number 11, Brady McCune. They had a scrimmage the other day against Leesburg, Fairfield. Brady, he started that, I think.
And, of course, you're listening to Hurricane Baseball on CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. The first of 2 games today. We've got a doubleheader. We'll take a break between the games, and then we'll be back on the air. We'll give you more of an idea once this game concludes when we'll be back on the air for the second game.
Number 12, the third baseman, Chapman.
Chapman coming up. He's grounded out and flied out. He's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out to the third baseman and flew out to left, so that side of the field needs to be looking for it, even though he's a left-hander. New pitcher, Brady McCune. And this is popped up to the left side. If it stays in play, third baseman should handle it, and he does.
Ryanson's now playing third base.
Ionson's now playing third base. So fly out to the third baseman. There's one out. One pitch, one out. Those are the kind of outs we like, guys, right there. Next up,
number 20.
Spangler is coming to the plate, and he is K'd twice today.
Good curve.
Foul ball.
That's all he'll throw, probably. He'll throw some fastball in it.
44 degrees out, Charlie, but it feels like it's 39.
Feels like it's about 29 to me.
Well, you're in the shade. We don't get the full benefit of the sunshine.
I already put in a thing to Troy. We need a little portable heater up here. Ball's hit to first.
Oh, we got Jake Vaughn now.
Jake Vaughn playing first base now for the Hurricane. And we got a ground out to 3. 2 outs. Jake Vaughn is in the game playing first base.
Number 25, DeAndrea.
He's got a strikeout and a walk today. Curveball.
Got it. Strike.
Called strike on the outside corner. That's all this boy throws, curveballs. His arm's going to fall off. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Oh, yeah, he does.
2 balls, 1 strike. Just keeping that curveball way outside. Again, we're in the top of the 6th here. Wilmington hold on to the 6-3 lead. Nice pitch there. Looked like his fastball. 2-2. Another curve, a little low though. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pulled down the right field line, out of play.
Chris should have hopped the fence and topped that. He can hop the fence, can't he, Harley? He takes 1 step and goes over the fence.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you got to consider what's going on at first. So.
Strike 3. Yeah, I thought that was kind of low and in, but the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe he's getting a little cold.
Well, you know they're getting cold. 3 outs, and you're getting ready to go to the bottom of the 6th, and we've had some changes here, but if everything stays according to Hoyle, it should be Davis, Keller, and Frisco coming up for the Hurricane. But we've had lots of changes here last inning.
All right, take care.
Somebody's chatting on your thing here.
That's good.
Well, Miami still has their same pitcher pitching for them, number 5, which again for Little Miami that is Bailey.
So if the girls are away playing softball, who do we have up there?
No, they're playing home. The way they work is, Rick, is the varsities will play at one location and the reserves will play at the other
So
location.
the reserves are up here.
No, that's a varsity girls softball up there.
You sure?
Yep.
I
And
don't
the
think
reserve,
so. No, the varsity is at Hamilton Baden for 2 games
well,
today.
maybe that's reserve, and usually they don't do that. Usually they'll play like the boys and girls will go and play. The varsity's away, the reserves at home. That's the way the SCOL works. And
In the league.
yeah, and usually that's the way it works, even in the non-league games, because it works out nice.
So we got number 33, Zach Wyrick.
Zach Wyrick coming up.
The batter, number 33, Zach Wyrick.
He's coming in for Davis. When I give you this, if you want to use any of these stats, like when I put a line like that, that's the new batter. See how I've done that?
Mm-hmm.
So you can figure out, if you do, I don't know what kind of stats you're going to do, but so we got Wyrick coming in now. He's a left-hander. Leading off against Bailey. First pitch outside, ball one. What's that? 1-1. Did I miss a pitch already?
Foul that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch. Foul. Oh, that sounded like it hit a car.
Yeah, people think these are good parking spots up here. Well, that's over. I'll park there.
They're looking at your car, Charlie.
Yeah, mine, you can't see mine from here, so I don't think that was mine.
It turned it over.
Yeah.
Ball hit on the top, and the car
2
turned it
balls,
over.
2 strikes.
Little low.
Full count. Full count. Getting the bottom of the 6th here. Ball 4. You hate that as a coach, a leadoff walk. You just hate
The second
that.
baseman, number 1, Brad Keller.
Keller still in the game. He's coming up to bat. He has got he is 1 for 1 with a sacrifice, and well, he's actually 1 for 2 because he got on the first inning via error. So he's 1 for 2. He scored 2 runs though. Ball's thrown over to first. I'd say a lot of these guys they throw over, and there's really no reason to. I mean, they're just showing, I guess, that they can do it. He's not getting. Heck, I could get that big enough lead. Pitch is in there for a strike against Keller. Last time up, he had a sacrifice fly to the center fielder. Oh, swinging at those high ones. Hard to lay off some of those high ones, especially if you think you're going slow, but they're still hard to catch up with. No balls, 2 strikes. Setting up outside. Curve. He gets a little piece of it. Throw to first. Got the fielder's choice. He's out at first. Runner goes to second, though.
Number 10, the left fielder, Marlon Frisco.
Frisco coming up. He is 1 for 3. 1 for 3 is Frisco. We have a runner at second now. That is Wyrick. First pitch is in, right back at the pitcher. He's going to go to first with it. They get the out. So the runner does advance on the third. 2 outs. And Stephen Krause coming to the plate, who is 1 for 3 today. He's got a fly out,
Number
a base
2,
hit,
22,
and a
shortstop,
strikeout.
Stephen Krause.
Curveball down the dirt, ball 1. Yeah, it'd be nice if they could get a little insurance run in here. 6-3, Wilmington on top. On the 6, inside, high and tight. 2 balls, no strikes. You want to get a good lead down third because that ball gets by. You know, you might be able to get your run in that way. We've had several pass balls today. Not a ton of them, but several of them. Curveball stayed inside, 3-0. Right down the pipe, strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ball 4 outside. So now we're going to have runners at first and third. Chris Woolery coming to bat, who's 2 for 3 for today. He's got a base hit and a double.
Chris Woolery.
Curveball. Wow, they called that a
They called
strike.
it, too.
Wow, it was inside, it looked like, and also kind of low to the big right-hander Rory. Now, it did look like a strike there. 0-2. You're just feeding the curveballs, Rory. Here it is. Hit it. I see a fastball in the outside corner coming this time. No call. That's probably the best pitch he's thrown out of the three. And it was a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch outside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Trying to get Chris to go after one here.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're giving him a nice gap on the right side if he can go that way. He tries going to the right side. Looks like it's going to be out of play, I think, yes. Yep. Foul ball out of play to the right side. That didn't sound good. Yeah, really, the weather wouldn't be that bad today if the wind wasn't blowing.
You can't feel the wind in here, Charlie.
No, I'm for those guys out there.
They don't care. They're playing baseball.
Foul ball.
It's going to
right side, out of play again.
Yeah, he definitely is trying to drive it to the right.
Yeah, he's got a nice gap over there if he can put it through there. So the first baseman holding on the runner, and the second baseman's shaded more towards second base than the gap. They're giving him a nice hole over there.
Low.
I tell you what, I'm surprised he took that 3-2. I was waiting for the umpire to ring him up. That was pretty close. Ball's driven to the shortstop. He fields it to throw to first.
Got it.
Not in time.
Pulled him off the base. 1 run scores. So Rory goes to first. Krause ends up on third, and we have a run in by Wyrick.
Now 7-3.
I don't know. What do you think? You gave him a base hit on that, or was that an error?
He beats those out
That was close, wasn't it?
with his speed.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll give him the base hit. Maybe that'll help us get a sponsorship for CampusStation.com. Here we go, runner first and third. Up to the plate is Jordan Ianson. I've been getting it most of the day. Ball thrown in the dirt. Nobody going anywhere.
Charlie, why do you have all the flies on your window?
I didn't earlier. They were over on Jim's. Jim was messing with them with a pen. He
was playing with one of them.
Yeah, he was trying to kill one with a pen.
No, I don't think that was his pet.
Rory takes off a second. No throw. The ball got away from the catcher. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we got 2 players in scoring position now. 7-3. Kane on top. Bottom of the 6th. Boy, this thing open here is a base hit. Oh, we missed the curve. Ianson had a sacrifice fly, a base on balls, and was hit by the pitch. He hasn't got a hit yet today, but he hasn't had an official at bat either. 2-2.
He throws a little harder and he's got more stuff.
Full count.
Just a little wide.
Just a little outside. Well, you got runner second and third. They don't have to be.
Yeah.
Now, the runner first, yeah. Foul ball, straight back. Getting some more baseballs to the umpire. We've had a lot of foul balls in this game. I have to get out and check our cards in between the games. We're all a little concerned up here.
I'm not concerned, Charlie.
He should be. Oh, curveball. He just got a piece of it. The catcher couldn't hold on to it, so he still has life. Does Ianson.
My car's actually got 4 coats of paint on it. See, so besides the clear coat, it would just be
Looks like the
impervious.
softball game's over.
Impervious to baseballs. Well, that was a big
Oh, and they called the strikeout. I don't think Ianson liked it too well. But they called the strikeouts on the inside corner. And through 6 innings of play here, it's Wilmington 7 with approximately 9 hits. That's unofficial, and 2 errors. Little Miami 3 runs, 2 hits, 4 errors. And coming to bat for Little Miami will be Phillips, Shirey, and Jividon. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order. So we may have some subs here too. We'll see. One thing about it, when you get into varsity baseball, just because you're on a team doesn't mean you get to play. A lot of parents don't seem to understand that because they're used to all these youth leagues.
Yeah, not hold. You got to play the players.
And even in reserve baseball, it's not that way. You know, you play. You may get to play. You may not get to play. It's coach's discretion. You are playing to win. This isn't just playing to play.
So you say we do keep score in this game?
Well, you know, and I tell you, I think that's one of the downfalls of America right now because that's just, you know, everybody's got to have a trophy. I mean, I even go to some car shows now, not ones I personally put on, but I've even been to some car shows last summer. Well, heck, they'll give you 100 trophies. They'll pass out 100 trophies. It's crazy.
Number 2, the second baseman, Phillips.
Because they don't want to make anybody mad.
So there's your injection of a little politics in our game today, Charlie, right?
Well, I already did that. I called you guys liberals earlier.
Oh, that's
Here you go, Phillips. At the plate. Wow, he called that a strike. Okay, looked like a high strike. Tell you what, that strike zone's getting wider and wider as the game is going on here.
Let's get on to the hot dogs, right?
We still have McCune pitching for the Hurricane. Second pitch. Whoa. That was behind him. That pitch actually went behind the batter, and
still
the batter didn't even move. The catcher called it. It's like, okay, no big deal. All right. Next pitch. It's a ball. He kind of went after it. No appeal down to the first base umpire. I think he held up too. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Whoa! That did hit him. Hit him right in the middle of the back. That hurt me up here. That's our second hit by pitch today.
It would be tough to take a pitch like that.
Oh, because it's cold? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a little nipply, as you said, Charlie.
Yes.
But the wind probably blew that ball into him. He wasn't
actually, the wind's blowing the other way. Oh, stepped off. Now, if you're watching this, you go, well, how come that wasn't a balk? It was because he stepped off the mound first. That is why. First pitch is a ball to number 3, which this is a new player. Who is this? Oh, I'm sorry, Shirey. I was looking at the wrong place. Yep, Shirey is up. He is the catcher. He is 0 for 2 today. He's had a fly out to the second baseman and a fly out to the right fielder. So, you need to be guarding that way. Obviously, that's the way he likes to go. 2 balls, no strikes. Looks like our pitcher's getting a little tired out there. McCune. They got a big gap for him on that right side, too, if he decides to go there. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Coach to the mound.
Yep. Trip to the mound for the coach. Trying to see where I missed Little Miami's last run there. Jeez. I think it's scary. 7-3. Here's our score. Wilmington gets these guys out. Game 1 will be in the books. We'll take a little break, and then we will start Game 2. It will probably be about a half hour to 45 minutes after Game 1.
Right, so it's just going on 1 o'clock now.
So if they can get them out here, we should have this second game started by 1:30, 1:45. Probably 1:45.
Well, the game's scheduled for 2, I think.
We got another walk, so we got a struggling pitcher here, and no one warming up in the bullpen. Got through some strikes. Jevedon up. Runners first and second. Nobody out here. Top of the seventh. 7-3. Hurricane on top. Ball's pulled down the right field line, but it is foul. I thought that ball was going to go farther when it took off, didn't
I
it?
did too. I thought Chris had that easy and then it just died.
Of course, that was Against the Wind. It's a good song, Bob Seger, Against the Wind. You ever hear that?
I recall it.
Jevedon up. Runners are first and second, no out. Hurricane need a little help here. Need to get an out. Just a little outside. 1 ball, 1 strike here. At least we got the headphones on. Our ears are warm. Another ball. No one's warming up here either. Of course, you don't have to necessarily warm anybody up. You can just bring them in. I think they're going to need a little help here. I think they need to get somebody else going. Ball's hit. Looks like it's going to be out in center field. Should be caught. It is. No one's going to advance. So we got our first out of the inning. Fly out to center. There's 1 out. Coming to the bat is our leadoff hitter for little Miami Panthers. That's Ballard. He is 0 for 3 today. He has scored. He reached a base by error and got knocked in on the home run by Carpenter. Ball's hit to the shortstop. This could do it. Ball. Oh, they're going to call him safe. We got an error on the second baseman. So now we have runners on first, second, and third. E4. Ball was hit to the shortstop. Third and second. The second baseman couldn't handle the ball. Oh, they did call him out now.
It was in the transfer.
Okay, but I thought he called him safe at first. Okay, so we do have an out. The runner going to second was put out on the fielder's choice. So we got runners at first and third with 2 outs. Did he ask for some help on that or something? Or?
Well, the field umpire, when he went like this, that meant he was in the transfer.
Oh, I thought he was calling him safe. We got another balk. That's our 3rd balk of the day. Of course, it is the first game of the season, so Phillips will come in to score, make it 7-4. Ballard goes to second. Yeah, 0-1. We got drilled down the right field line, but foul. Foul by Sweeney. Those things are just dying when they're hit to right field, aren't they? Looks like the Cane might have had somebody warming up. I see their catcher coming back down. We have 2 outs, no balls, 1 strike on Sweeney. Foul ball again. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball's hit to the gap, right field. It's going to be a base hit. The run's going to score. Ballard comes around to score. Well, this makes things interesting, guys. Sweeney with the base hit.
And look who's up.
Yeah, look who is coming to bat.
Number 9, the shortstop, Carpenter.
Did he walk him?
Carpenter, I don't know if I'd walk. You got to run it first.
I don't care. I put him on.
Home. He has a home run, a K, and a fly out. 7-5. This could get interesting real quick here, folks. Wow, I tell you what, why is he not swinging at that? That was just so easy coming in there. It was a curveball, but man, that thing didn't break much either, though. Ah. 2 strikes. I tell you what, he's let 2 nice pitches just go by. Well, that thing's coming in so slow.
And that's hard to hit. A good hitter that finds that hard to hit.
Drives it to the left side. It's going to be foul, though. Well, you got to step up in the box.
Give him a hanger.
You got to step up in the box if you're going to expect that curveball, because it's not going to get there as quick. And just drill it. This guy could tie it up with 1 swing of the bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. 7-5. 1 more out, and this ball game's over. But 1 swing of the bat, we could be all knotted up.
Got it.
Strike 3. Struck him out, and that's the ball game, folks. 3 out, 7-5. Wilmington is your winner of the first game.
All right, so we're going to take a break. You want to go over the stats there, Charlie?
Well, we can, yeah. Let's see. Davis looks like he was 1 for 3. Wyrick came in and had a walk. He scored 1 run. Keller scored twice. He also has stolen base, and he was 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Frisco was 1 for 4 with a stolen base. Kraus had a base hit and a walk. Woolery had 3. He was 3 for 4 on the day with a fly out to center. He had a double and 2 singles. Jordan Ianson had an interesting afternoon. He's 0 for 1 with a K, but had a sacrifice fly, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Chad Davis was 1 for 3 with a base hit. Brady McCune was 1 for 2, and Tyler Wells had a walk. Caden Lawfer was 0 for 2, but did score a run. He reached by error. And Ryan Hottinger was 0 for 1. For Little Miami, Ballard was 0 for 4, but did reach twice, once by error and once by fielder's choice. Sweeney, he was 1 for 4. Or 1 for 3 with a walk and a base hit. Carpenter was 1 for 4, but had the big 2-run smack here in the 4th inning. Then struck out twice with key times that could have helped his team. Chapman was 0 for 3. Spangler was 0 for 3. Deandrea, whichever you want to say, was 0 for 2 with a walk, but did score. Phillips was 1 for 2, but also got hit by a pitch and scored once. Shiree was 0 for 2 with a walk. Jevedan was 1 for 3 with a base hit. I believe he had enough innings pitched that Ian Johnson is our winning pitcher, and losing pitcher was Metterhouse. Bailey also pitched some today for Little Miami, and Brady McCune finished up for the Cane. So
final score?
Final score 7-4. Wilmington had 9 hits. Little Miami had 4 hits and 4 errors for Little Miami and 2 errors for Wilmington. So that does our first one, and we'll be back with you here in probably about a half hour for the second one.